Good evening, happy stampers. How is everybody today? So welcome to Thursday's Tools and Technique Thursday. So tonight I decided to bring you this technique. It's a special fold that I actually did for the Scrapbook Expo, Stamp and Scrapbook Expo this past weekend. And it was one of my make and takes. And everybody absolutely loved it. And people come back, and I had several make and takes over the weekend. And they go, oh, you're not doing that one you were doing before? So we ended up on the second day doing this one primarily almost all day. So it was actually came about, I was doing a Z-fold card for my make and takes, and I'm cutting away, and I went to make my sample, and I went to put it on the white, and for some reason, I cut card bases for my white mat. So when I applied my card to it, it was like, ooh, I have like a double card, and it looks like an M instead of a Z. So I decided to leave it, and so I'm going to share that with you tonight. So make sure you say hello. Let me know how you're doing. Give me the thumbs up if you like it. And be sure, if you are watching on my YouTube channel, to like my channel so you get alerts whenever I post a video. Let's get started, everybody. So I forgot to put my mic on, so I have it on now. And it seems that we are upside down, and I was not anticipating that. So let me just flip this around so that we see not Judy's mess, but the card that we're making tonight. And I will have to do just a little bit of adjusting. Be patient with me. This is the first time I am actually using StreamYard to do this on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel at the same time. I'm going to have to drag this underneath there. So that looks just about right now. So let me just keep this wire out of the way. Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay. We are going to be using the hand-penned Petals bundle, and this consists of the hand-penned stamp set and the pen flower dies. And we're using one of my favorite designer series papers from the annual catalog, and that's You're a Peach. I just love the colors in this paper. They're so bright and cheery. We're primarily going to be using Balmy Blue, Calypso Coral, and Pear Pizzazz tonight. So this is a sampling of all the papers that you get in here. And you can make a different combination of colors, any size you want when using that. Now, I do have a piece of designer series paper that measures 1/2 inch by 3 3/4, 2 inches by 3 3/4, and 4 inches by 5 1/4, I believe. Yes, no, by 5. So 3 3/4 by 5. Then I have my card base, which is the second card base, which is basic white, and this measures 11 by 4 1/4. Hello, Teresa. Good morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening. You're in Kansas. Hot Kansas. It's hot here in Illinois also. Now, for this next piece, I decided to cut it in front of you. This was originally my Z-fold card, so I had cut it. I knew I wanted a mat, so I cut it at 4 inches by 11 inches. And I had to do a little bit of trimming once I figured out my mistake. So we're going to cut this down to measure 4 by 10 1/2 inches. Okay, so we're just going to go down and cut that 1/2 inch. Now we're going to do our scoring. And I am going to try to move this down a little bit so that you can get in on the scoring, since I can't zoom it in. So let's lower it just a little bit down to my measuring. So My first score line is going to be at 5 and 3. Normally I would do it at 5.5. I'm going to take it down 1/8 of an inch because I want an 1/8 of an inch border. So this is actually instead of 5.5, it's measuring 5 3/8. Okay, so we're going to score that real good. I am going to flip this around and score it at 2 9/16. So this is 2, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you're going to notice that here, I'll put this on here, that line is the first line after the 2.5 inch mark. And that's the easiest way to remember it. If I was teaching this at an in-person class, I would tell you 1 tick mark after the 2.5. So we're going to score it there. So now when we fold this up, it's going to be even. Okay? So now we're going to start putting some of our pieces together, and then we're going to do some stamping. So I have this piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to put that on this larger area here. And like I said, you could use either side, you guys. Either side would go well, but we're going to use the polka dots. You've been stamping along with me. You know I am one for patterns. I love polka dots, stripes, plaids. I am just a sucker for all of those. So we're going to go ahead and put that on here. So this is like a regular Z fold card. So let me move this up because we don't have to see those measurements anymore. And get you in camera. Which way are we? The camera tilted a little bit. Okay. So this is our standard Z fold card. It's shaped like a Z. Okay. This next panel we're not going to do anything with. We're next going to put this panel down on the bottom panel. This card is so fast and easy to make. And you know what? You can use a lot of your scraps in your designer series papers. Now you're going to notice with this one, when you place this on, you could make it a little bit bigger if you didn't want to put a second pattern down here, but I love pattern. So we're just going to go ahead and stick this right along the bottom. And all our colors are being picked up in the designer series paper because we've got some little blue flowers in here. Now I do know that there is another pattern with some flowers in it that doesn't have the blue flowers in it. You could stamp the mini flowers that are in this stamp set and put some more blue flowers on there. Okay, so there is our basic Z fold. Okay, we need to decorate it. So I've got a scrap of basic white cardstock right here. And we're going to take our hand-penned petals and grab our image. Now I am going to use this image right here. I'm going to be using this image down here, and we're going to be using the thanks. So we're going to go ahead and mount those on our blocks. And instead of using Memento ink, I am going to be using Early Espresso because Early Espresso is one of the colors that is listed in with the designer series paper. And since it is water-based, we can change that out. So we're just going to add that right here on our basic white. Okay. And then we need to color this. Now this is a 2-step stamp. So we're going to grab our coordinating flowers. This image is for that one. This image is for this flower. And then we have a leaf. Now, don't panic when you go to stamp your leaves because there's some that are bigger, they're shaped differently, but believe me, this stamp set is to look like it's watercolor and it's to have white space. So when we stamp these leaves, you're going to see that some are covered more than others. And some have, oops, some white space. And white space is good. We're going to just stamp these. Makes it so much easier when they list the inks. Now, you're going to notice that this is bigger than that stamp, but that's okay because we're just going to move it up a little bit, and it's going to go all the way over to the other leaf, and you're not even going to notice it. Okay, we're going to take this image here, and we're going to take our Calypso Coral ink, and we are going to stamp that flower with the Calypso Coral. I just love this combination of Balmy Blue and Calypso Coral. They're updated colors from like the 70s and 80s. Peaches and blue were very much in trending, but these are more updated colors. You could also use Pale Papaya for this. Okay, we need this flower. Just put that on. And you need to turn this around just a little bit till you see which way it matches the best. And I'm going to tell you, it's not perfect. And I actually like it when it's not perfect because I love that white space. Okay, there's our Balmy Blue. Oh, I really didn't get that in close, but that's okay. We got that white space. Now we have our stem, which is still left open. I've grabbed my light Old Olive Stampin' Blend, and we're just going to color these stems. And you're going to notice that it matches pretty well with the Pear Pizzazz. Okay, so we're ready to cut this one out. So we're going to grab our dies. Move this all over. Let's grab our dies. How many of you love to fussy cut? You could fussy cut this image. And I am looking at this. My Calypso Coral is pretty dark. I just re-inked it because it was pretty dry, but it will blend in. Okay, we've got our mini cut and emboss machine. We're putting down our number 1 mat and then a number 2. I might have to trim this down just a little bit. I do. It's just a little bit too wide for our machine. I should have paid attention to that when I got a scrap. And the way I do this is I lay that down, have it all ready. I line my die up. Okay. I don't use any washi tape or anything like that. I slide this in almost all the way and I push it down. And by pushing it down and holding it and then starting my handle, that die is not going to move. And we can just crank it right through. Okay. Move that out of the way. And we're just going to pop that right out. Okay, we're going to bring our base in. And I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're going to decide where we're going to put this. And I'm going to have this coming up over the top. So it's coming up into this area here. So I'm going to grab some Dimensionals and decide where to put those. And I'm thinking on the bottom half here and on this leaf. I could have even used our minis. I've got a piece that did not cut out. There we go. And this is enough to hold this on. These Dimensionals are pretty strong. And I like to have a little bit of freeing of this where it's not connected anywhere. Okay, we have a lot of open space up here. So we're going to fill that right now. So we're going to take the Early Espresso ink. So we want to balance this out a little bit. And I'm just going to take the words thanks. And I'm putting them at an angle. Just like that, quick and easy. But, you know, I think we still need a little bit more up there. So we are going to go ahead and grab some basic Rhinestone Jewels and our Take Your Pick tool. And we are going to put some rhinestones on these. Oh, I want to do 3. Let me see. Oh, I might put a couple small ones on here too. Put one right there. And I think one right down here. Just like that. Okay, so there is your basic Z-fold card. But this is where it came in when I thought, oh, I wanted a white mat. So I grabbed a white mat and I thought, okay, that looks great. But it was a full card. Okay, so let me show you what I ended up doing. I ended up going ahead and gluing this down. Oh, sorry if you're hearing that noise. That is Max upstairs in his bed. And we are going to move this down so the bottom of this card matches, the Z-fold card matches the bottom of that base or that white mat. Okay, that way we have 3 equal edges if we have going around there. And you would think, oh, you know, that's so cute, but it opens again. So let's decorate the inside a little bit too. I think we need some decoration in there. So let's grab our, we're going to go ahead and grab this stamp. I should have some scratch paper underneath me, so let me just grab this real quick because I am known for sometimes stamping on my mat and then getting ink all over. So we just want this peeking out of the side, just like that. And then we're going to grab our 2 floral stamps and our ink pads, and we're going to need all of them because I stamped more than I thought I was going to. So we're just going to stamp this in here, and this is just real quick. Doesn't take any longer to decorate the inside of your card than it does the front. Let's see if this matches a little bit better. No, I'm going to turn this around to get it to match. I think this is it. Or pretty close. There we go. We're a little bit closer with that one, but it doesn't matter because nature is not perfect, right? Okay, and Pear Pizzazz. And that's what I like about our designer series papers. They tell us what colors to use, and so everything coordinates well with it. Grab our light Old Olive marker and color that stem again. And we're all up. We're all set. Now I will put a sentiment on the inside thanking the person that I am sending this card to. But you want to see the M. Here we go. It's an uneven M, but it's an M. There we go. So there is a technique, a special fold tonight that we use, and this will stand up just like that. And so when it's standing up, it's going to look like this on the shelf or the counter. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to show you the one. We used all the different patterns in this designer series paper this weekend. So here's one that's predominantly blue, and I use the Fresh Freesia instead of the Calypso Coral. So it just depends on which papers you choose. But as you can see, they all work, and you can get a multitude of cards. Believe me, we got a lot of cards out of one pack of designer series paper this weekend. So you can purchase any of these products at my store. Just go to judystamps.com and click on Shop Now. And until next time, everybody, happy stamping. Bye-bye.